So full disclosure, I picked this story, and then after I picked the story changed completely. So full disclosure about that. So earlier this week, last week, I think it was like on Wednesday, it was reported that a company called Apex Capital was potentially mounting a $43 billion bid to buy all of Paramount Global. A press release announced the bid on Wednesday morning, and notably, if you've been following the Paramount drama, you know that is, nearly double the bid that private equity firm Apollo Global Management and its partner Sony had made, and their bid was like $26 billion. So when I saw this headline, because I basically swore off talking about this Paramount saga. It's probably the single story that I have done the most installments of, and they finally figured out the Skydance deal, and I was like, I'm not doing another story about this until something happens that's worth talking about. So I see the story and I go, oh shit, okay, now I gotta talk about this. But then, so I decide on doing this story, and I'm doing my research and preparation yesterday on Sunday, and I find out that this press release that was released on Wednesday morning about this bid was mysteriously retracted later that afternoon. Huh? So who is Apex Capital Trust? So the press release, they refer to themselves as, quote, a multinational holding company and a qualified institutional investor in key finance and fintech sectors, end quote. The press release quoted Tatiana Logan, who's described as the general counsel for Apex Capital Trust, and saying, quote, we are prepared to provide all necessary documentation for comprehensive due diligence. Like most other trusts, Apex Capital Trust is not public-facing. And Reuters was, quote, unable to independently establish the existence of Apex or its unnamed subsidiary. So it's very, 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 very dubious. It's just bizarre, right? And of course, I didn't know any of this until yesterday. So, of course, this is all during this period where Paramount and Skydance are in what they're calling their go shop period. So part of the contract, or part of the deal that they've made, it gave Skydance, it gave Paramount, I think, like 6 weeks to entertain other potential bids or offers. Just to, at the very least, if they go through with it, then they can at least go to shareholders and go, look, we looked at other deals. This was the best deal. Trying to insulate Sherry Redstone from, potential litigation, right, for the deal. So they can basically field all these other competitive offers until later this month, August 21st. And if Paramount were to go with a different offer and ditch Skydance, they would have to pay, as per the agreement, a $400 million breakup fee. Which Apex Capital Trust, if it exists, claimed to be willing to pay for Paramount. So that I don't know if that would be on top of the $43 billion, but I think once you're already into $43 billion, what's another $400 million, right? So this is very strange, right? Why was this retracted? Maybe they jumped the gun and announced it too early. And someone fucked up and maybe they got fired now. I'm not sure, right? Does this spell jeopardy once again for the Skydance deal? Maybe, and this is me putting on my tinfoil hat, maybe this announcement, quote unquote, was a misdirect to test the waters, right? Someone wanted to see what the market's reaction would be if a rival bid were to be made for Paramount, right? Could it be a rival bidder, like Apollo Global Management or Barry Diller, who's the former president of Paramount, who suggested he might be interested? Could it be Paramount itself? Does it want to see, would the market prefer a different deal? And the stock did go up on the news of the bid and then quickly went back down once it was revealed that maybe it's not real. And that's the more likely answer is that maybe this was just a big hoax, right? The Financial Times notes that one of Apex, that Apex has reportedly a 40% stake in a supposed technology giant called Simtronics, the website for which was created by GoDaddy like a week ago, right? So That's suspicious. And then furthermore, Tatiana Logan, the general counsel I mentioned before, is listed as working with Elwood Law, which seems to be a nod to Legally Blonde's main character Elle Woods, who becomes a lawyer. So the more, like, as much as I would like to think maybe this is some interesting corporate maneuvering to try to test different scenarios in the market, and most likely maybe this was just a big prank. And again, it just speaks to a larger misinformation problem that we just have. It's so easy to create falsities online of any kind, but like the fact that they could create enough material to suggest a fake multinational conglomerate holding company was offering a massive multi-billion-dollar bid for a legacy movie studio, and it be taken seriously at least for an hour, is incredible, right? And again, it's because you couldn't do this 50 years ago. And again, like we said, it literally impacted the stock market. So could this be maybe another possible scenario? Was this market manipulation? Could they get, whoever did this, could they get legally in trouble for this? Did they buy a bunch of stock, create this fake announcement, prices go up, sell off other stuff, and then run away with the profit? I don't know, but I was very excited in a sense, even though I love to play like, I'm tired of talking about Paramount. I eat this shit up, right? So I was very excited to see, like, who's this new player who's coming in and offering all this money? And then it ended up most likely just being a hoax. So, shame on me, perhaps, for not keeping an eye on the story. But I'm a busy man. And I eventually did find out the truth. And I brought the truth to you, the viewers.